All right, so we're just going to get into it. The way I approached the trade today, two trades, was that we're in a chop range right now. And even though everyone will kick and scream, I do still have this indicator on the super trend. So deal with it. It's just a level here based on the ATR. I did look up what it means. And this 6013 level is just a continued resistance. So I knew, looking at the heat seeker between the 5980 and the 6020, that there was going to be some back and forth. So I waited for the first 30 minutes to play out, because the fastest way to lose money for me is to play in the first 15 minutes or the last 60 minutes, which is what I included in my plan. I'm going to write that out tonight, and I'm going to publish it tonight so that anyone else can see how my brain is going to think about this. So for the first 30 minutes, I also drew a bunch of horizontal lines. So it's just aftermath, looking at how things are playing out, and I'm going to work with it. Anyways, we start here, we go up, and I kind of had this feeling that we were going to gap up a little bit and come down just based on the cues. Yeah. Because again, with the level here, yeah, the old super trend is saying, weekly we stopped here. Last week we stopped here on the daily. We had that big pullback, a lot of spotty things here. So all in all, the market is kind of in this, it doesn't know where it wants to go level. So first 30 minutes play out. Let's see, it was on the 5 minute. It came down, it's testing this little ascending wedge kind of look here. And, this level down here. It's just a small thing. So it didn't, it straight candle down, no wick. And then it kind of bounces, goes up and down, sideways stuff, and then it comes back down, bounces here. This is around where I get in my long a little early. It got down, so it was 1.6 here. It got down to about 1.3 here. My risk was $100, which is a little under 10% of my portfolio. So if it goes under 160, under 60, it would have been broken down by that point. So it would have been a get out anyways. So it comes back, consolidates, and then we get a few pops. And, as we're popping closer up to this 6013 level, I'm watching it, we got this sideways stuff kind of making me doubt myself for sure within these about 10 minutes. Because we popped over, we did all this stuff over the high of day. So we get to there, and this is where I'm thinking I got to sell, because from 1.6, it got up to about 2.6, 2.8 or so. I ended up getting out about 2.1 because I was doing a trailing stop in case we did break over this level. I was anticipating a big breakout, which is why I was using stops instead of just selling at a certain limit. I'm trying to be better about not just selling my winners quickly, but also not letting them go to losers. That is what I'm going to follow going forward. So we've got this, kind of like a megaphone type thing going here. And then, a little breakout. And we got more consolidation. And so I thought maybe, cup and handle kind of thing, breakout. Didn't quite happen that way. So I got out of that long on the pops. I was watching Glitz in the chat and seeing, the 6025 or the 6020 and on the heat seeker, I was kind of not feeling it. So anyways, the next trade was my short, because we were up here near that breakout level, but we didn't even get really close to it. It's almost like another lower high from Friday. I knew we were going down. So I have within 2 minutes, I bought a put. And, we got down to this level, and I'm sitting up like 10% for a while, and it's fine. So eventually, breaks down, tried to wick back up, and this little level here, it's just not. You got the little bear flag here, tries to go up past this little high, doesn't work, comes back down, and boom, boom, boom. So on these big drops, I'm up 30, 40% or so. I think it got up to about 50%. But again, I was doing trailing stops in case this was a failed breakout to a breakdown. And this is what has happened since I got out of my last trade in the last hour. It looks like we're going to go up. I imagine we are going to because of this little fake breakdown kind of thing. You never know, see, like it just hits this level and pop, consolidating right there. So this is really choppy sideways. Kind of gives you that inverse head and shoulders look at the top or whatever. I'm not a fan. But as much as diagonal lines are like trend lines are trash, if it can get above about 6,010 or so, it should be good for more upside. And from there, 60-13, 60-20. Not loving the setup though. It could pop up above and go for a while, because we're, within this range here. It could go straight to 6,100 in a few days. All this gap in here, or just 60.85 rather. But for the couple trades, it was just a quick thing, and that was enough to get me where I needed to be. Heat seeker helped. My levels helped. And patience was the big thing. Patience, and I was journaling during this 35 minutes, talking about my heart racing and all this crap. I was watching it pretty intently in case I needed to dip, especially for the first 10 minutes or so. It was kind of back and forth, and then I was finally positive, and then, we're up here. So things that worked for this were waiting the first 30 minutes, planning a trade with a level of exit, and entry, obviously not the best, but not bad. And knowing to get out, putting a stop actually was helpful, because even though I could have, grabbed $20, $30 more per contract that I sold here, it's nice, if say I'm long here and I've got a trailing stop down around here and this is still profitable, I want to give this room to try and press, because as you can see, it looks like it wants to just zoot up to this next level. But on the off chance it just zooms down, you get stopped out with a profit still. So that's my 2 cents on this trade, these trades, and the future trades for today.